What's up, everybody, and welcome to the official PlayStation podcast of the KT Data Network. We are the LittleBigKast. On today's show, Drew and Robin neglect their scholarly duties in order to hang out with us for a bit.
I'm so happy I'm not a professor.
I know, right? Rachel briefly hibernates and nearly misses the show.
I wish I could be hibernating. I know, me too.
And, Jeff keeps his intro under 8 minutes for the first time ever and speaks in the third person. All this and more on today's episode number 32 of the LittleBigKast. Thanks for joining us, everybody. So what's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 32 of the LittleBigKast. My name is Jeff Hawks, and I am one of the hosts, one of four hosts. We are officially here as the full LittleBigKast crew for the first time. So,
momentous.
Yeah. What's up, guys?
Momentous. It's ginormous. We're good.
It's pretty exciting.
How are you?
So this is episode 32 of the LittleBigKast. We are the official PlayStation podcast of the KT Data Network. With us today, as hopefully always going forward, the illustrious, established teacher extraordinaire, Mr. Drew Tyler.
Hey! I was hoping they were going to go with me. I wasn't sure at that point. Because we're both teachers extraordinaire.
Yes.
But yes,
we've got a better looking teacher to your right.
Yes.
No,
Tragic.
And you stole illustrious from me. I was going to take illustrious, and you just snatched it right out from under me.
I'm so sorry.
What's a better word that we can use rather than illustrious?
Better than illustrious?
Whimsical.
Whimsical is not better than illustrious.
Masterful.
Masterful's good.
I'll go
mind
masterful.
melder.
Ooh.
Molder of minds.
Ooh.
Robin Hood.
I like whimsical.
And to my left, the ever wonderful,
Can I be
vivacious,
whimsical?
and
awake.
fantastic.
Look at that.
And awake.
That's
And
me, slightly awake.
We got Rachel Hernandez right here. She's been awake for about an hour and a half. An hour?
Technically, I've been awake for
45 minutes.
6 hours, but I'm fresh off of my nap that was cut short.
Nappy times are always important.
It didn't last long
My
enough.
4-year-old loves them.
That's great.
I'm horribly envious. It's been a long time.
You know, I set an alarm, but it just didn't go off. So maybe it did, and I just don't remember turning it off.
It's all good. Naps are they have a special place in my heart.
And they don't.
And who are you?
Yeah, they don't last.
I'm Jeff. I'm like I said, I'm one of the hosts.
That's right.
So let's just kick off today's show with a kind of a wrap up of what we've been doing. So first of all, this, like I mentioned, is the first time that all four of us have been here. In last week's show, we introduced Robin as a non-guest. She is officially a member of the LittleBigKast crew.
A non-guest.
Yeah, she is officially a member of the LBK crew. And
It's an birthday.
let's start off with you today, if that's cool.
Yeah.
Kind of what you've been doing.
What I've been doing, I've been figuring out how to not have beanie hair, considering that this is the first snow that I've had since I've lived here.
Right, so you're from Arizona.
From New Mexico / Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
What is snow?
Desert. It's okay. It's all desert. Doesn't matter.
Born and raised in Texas?
Nope. Born in South Carolina, lived in South Dakota, jumped down to New Mexico, Texas.
So you're a southern gal living in a
Yes, in the
mountain
northern state. Yes.
All right. So that can be
Should
cool.
be a
Beanie
song.
hair
Yes.
is understandable then.
Living through beanie hair, and
Wish I had beanie.
you poor thing, and been staying up trying to do grading and trying to balance that time with playing with the new games. Oh, and also
It's called prep work.
yes, it is prep work. It is academically sound, and I also sound like I smoke 2 packs a day because I'm coming off of a wicked laryngitis / cold.
And
so
because
not
she smokes 2 packs
yes,
a day. So
exactly. Oh my
students
gosh.
take a lesson. Avoid the cigarettes.
Nicotine.
You can be masterful, but you're still.
Give Robin a month and she'll be like, "Hello, doll. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Unity." That's probably, hopefully not.
We're glad that you're here, though.
Yes, I am thrilled I'm here too. Not contagious, by the way.
Right, but even though, we'll try and talk for you. You can do hand signals, and we'll try and translate or something.
Whiteboard.
Yeah, if
Because
Whiteboard and a bell.
we don't want to make it worse.
a bell like Breaking Bad. You
Exactly.
Just ding the bell when you want someone murdered. You just ding the bell. That works. What about you, Drew? What have you been doing?
I have not been doing a whole lot. As you know, I'm also trying to keep up with grading. It seems like when we hit, a little while ago, we hit midterms, and it was like all on you guys. Now that it's back, it's like, okay, now I've got papers.
Not on me.
Right, not you. Yeah, you're right. I forgot. You're a big boy.
Sucker.
I'll have you know I graduated, Drew.
I totally remember.
Anyway, time.
So I've been grading a lot and kind of keep up with that. I really gauge like how much I grade, and I binge grade based on how many requests I get.
Don't worry,
Some people that are like, if I get more than 2 or 3 from a class that go, hey, did we get a score for that? Then I start, then it's like, oh, right, I'll have it tomorrow.
Here's your next 5 past grades.
My line is, I've graded those. I must not have put them in Canvas yet, knowing full well that I have not graded those. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. Other than
least
that,
you respond to
teacher
your students.
secret.
Though.
I do.
I had a number of teachers that it was like, it's been 4 weeks since the test that decides whether or not I pass this class. I would like to know if I passed this class and can get like financial aid for the next semester. That would be helpful.
Yikes! Yeah, that would be important to know. Other than that, I play a little bit.
I don't want to call anyone out, Russ Rampton.
But it would be nice to know.
It would be nice to have grades in a timely fashion.
It is a thing.
Rate my Russ. I love the guy though. I love the guy. Okay, so other than that,
That's probably inappropriate. I apologize.
no,
I'm not a student anymore.
You're a
We'll
free
just go
man.
with it.
And I've heard 100 good things about him, so that's good. I have done a lot of things. I played a little bit of Destiny. One night I tried to do a daily strike, but I did it like trying to not. How to say this? My wife would not be jealous of me playing, but she's grading, and she's very good at grading. Plus, she's taking her master's classes, so she's always doing things at night, and I shirk a lot. And so I tried to play, still same TV, same room, but I tried to lay on the ground and play with my head up and watch the game. 10 minutes into the strike, I was just like,
what do you mean? Are you watching on the ceiling?
No, it's above our mantle, so it's high. But if I sit on the couch, it's like high, but above, there. But I was laying on the ground, propped up on a pillow, so it was like doubly high. And that like aspect, there's something about it that I just about lost it. So I haven't played that much.
You're 21, right? I think I saw that you hit light level 21.
Oh, I was like, no, I'm 37. I'm an old bastard. No, yes, I hit 21.
Okay.
21, and I cannot get past it because I can't do those strikes alone. That's the other thing. I can't do them alone. They're so hard to play alone, and nobody plays with me on the PS3 world. If you're out there, please hit me up. I will play on the PS3 with you. Wait, I'll let you play with me so I can get past 21. It's so hard. Other than that, though, I did the most awesome thing. Started playing Ni no Kuni again with the girls this time, letting the big bean do the actual maneuvering.
That's sweet.
So she'll be like, Dad, we have to go talk to the old tree or whatever, so she's like walking it, and it works out pretty well. It's still a little bit slower, but when she lets the middle sister play, it's like walking into walls, and it's still like trying to figure out the thumb controls. And
the key to Ni no Kuni with the kids that age is just feed the monsters.
We got to get, we're there, just about there. Yep. So that's been really fun. And then this last week, I took each of my 3 girls on their own date, complete with flowers and gifts, and I showed up at the door.
Aww.
It was so much fun for them that they were just like, I don't know. I'm hoping that they obey now. I don't know. Like they start being better kids. I did it. Anyway, that's it. That's my week. It's been fantastic.
That's some good dad action.
I'm doing good dad things. So those of you that want better grades, want grades. It's not going to affect better grades.
Right.
I'm just being a dad. Sorry.
Yeah. Deal with it. I'll go next, and then you can wrap it up, Rachel. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I think we're gonna keep it under like a 20-minute. Jeff's weekly roundup.
I'll start the timer.
Okay, yeah, let's like
so first of all,
go.
Still playing Destiny. Despite like all of the problems that I have with Destiny and like the repetitive nature of a lot of the things, the reality is that this game, it really is just super fun to play with friends. KT, our producer here at the show, if you have friends, that's a good point. I have make-believe friends from Reddit who join me on my fire teams.
Do they play you? That's so nice.
So there's an entire Reddit subreddit called Fire Teams that is just dedicated to helping people find fire teams.
I'm afraid of Reddit, but I might do that to try and get through a strike.
It's fantastic. It is
okay.
game-changing. But earlier this week, while I was in Boston, when I'm at these trade shows, like I just have time in the evenings, like because I'm not going to go out and get hammered before I work at a show at 7 o'clock in the morning while everyone else does that. I struggle to stay awake waking up at 7 o'clock Eastern time on any day because it's like 5 o'clock here, so it messes with me. So I take my PlayStation with me and I play all night, and that's my way to save money and avoid being social.
It's good. It's good. That's all right.
So
what it's worth.
So you pay people to not be social. Okay, got it.
Anyway,
virtual social.
I played through the vault with KT. We got to Atheon, and everything just kept falling apart. We had people that ended up having to leave the fire team. So it did
That's-
not,
how many
we
hours
did
is
not
it?
finish.
It's like 4 or 5 hours to get to that point, or how long is it to get to that?
We
like-
made it through pretty quick.
Yeah.
We made it to Atheon, who's the final boss. We made it in like 2.5 hours. The
That's
fastest
quick. I can drive
the
to
first
Provo.
time. Here's the thing: the first time that I played the vault with just a couple of friends who had never played it, when Freddie joined us, took us 6 hours to get to Atheon, and we didn't beat
Who
it.
has 6 hours? Who has 6 hours?
But
I got nothing.
the day before
As
I
you
played
guys-
with KT, I beat the entire raid in an hour and a half. So you
With
can
you
do
and
it.
nobody else?
I did it with a fire
Was
team
it fire
from
team, but
Reddit.
you said it. Okay.
So it was a bunch of 29s. KT's 27, his buddy's 27. We had a number of level 27s. It makes it much more difficult with, like,
And the team is 6,
because
right?
basically at every level that you progress, your damage goes up by like 40%. So you are significantly weaker at 27 than you are at 29.
Got it.
So with a team of 29s, yeah, we did it in about an hour and a half. It was awesome. But that really, honestly, like, and KT kind of confirmed that he bought into this idea following our playthrough, was that everything in Destiny pushes you to the raid. Like, it's to prepare you for the raid. The raid, for lack of a better word, it's epic. It is super big.
Does sound fun.
I mean, you're traveling miles into the core of Venus to fight this boss. You teleport to different worlds. Like, it's very big. It's very cool. It's a lot of fun. So that was cool to be able to play with KT and a couple of podcast friends. Freddie joined us again.
Cool.
So he's killing it still. Other than Destiny, I haven't been playing a lot of games, but I watched Interstellar yesterday, the Chris Nolan film.
Mm-hmm.
If you like watching movies, this is a movie that needs to be seen in a
If
movie
you like
theater.
movies, period.
It is a movie that needs to be seen in a movie theater. It is true, like, I'm using the word epic again, but it is truly epic in
What?
scale. And it is kind of an awe-inspiring film. Like, this film, like, goes between galaxies and universes and has wormholes and black holes. Like, it is science fiction at its best. I loved the film. Super highly recommend it. So if you have a chance to check it out, you should. And that's me. How long did I go?
3.5?
Wow.
Whoa.
Are you feeling okay?
That's what I'm talking
He didn't even
about.
finish.
Wrap that up.
So proud.
Anyway, Rachel, I'm gonna pass it over to you.
Sure. Well, that's nice. Speaking of antisocial, I decided to go outside last night with some friends.
In the cold?
Like outside or just out
No,
of the
just
house?
like hang out, just like leave the house and just do some socialization. I know, the boyfriend encouraged me. He was like, you should go hang out with just your friends, and I did, and I totally regretted it, and I just never want to leave the house again.
Super overrated.
It was so bad. Like, I
Really?
just left, and I was like, why did I ever do that? Why
didn't I just stay
Why
home
didn't
and
I
play
just stay home?
Borderlands?
I knew, because like I was debating if I wanted
Did you
to go
think
or
about
not.
that the whole time you were out?
That's what it was. That's what it was. Totally.
Mhm.
Yeah. But it was just like, why? So I made it a promise to not leave the house ever again for the remaining winter. Hibernation mode, essentially.
Was it the cold or was it the people you were with?
I don't, it was just me
Like,
being an idiot. So
Isn't the idea of hibernation like just fantastic?
I just want to. So just eat a
It's
lot
like-
of food and go to
exactly, it's
sleep
like-
for months.
just
And
lock
done.
down.
Just
and then when
nah.
you wake up, you're skinny and like you just look good.
You're just ready. You're just
just
ready to
let
roll,
off
and it's
all the fat
warm.
over the 3 month
should have been a
hibernation. You
bear.
get super fat when you start out and then just nap it off.
You haven't made Toblerone Bear. You have.
I know. It's fantastic.
So I did that. I've been playing Borderlands 2 a lot. I went to Idaho over the weekend, and last weekend I realized that Boise is probably the only town in Idaho that does not literally smell like poop.
Yeah.
Literally, I got
Have
out
you
of
been to
my.
Idaho?
No,
Don't.
but New Mexico. I mean, that's like cattle city.
Oh man,
really?
it was just
Mm.
poop, flies and poop everywhere. Is
Yeah.
when I got out of
Yeah.
my car. So that was nice. Borderlands 2 is great. I think I'm a level 22 now, 22 or 23. Yeah.
I thought I
so
saw 27.
maybe I'm a
I
27.
don't
Oh, I don't know, but I'm having fun with it. So
Is
probably
it
gonna
weird that I
play.
stalk people's characters?
No,
No,
my siren's pretty boss. I don't see why you wouldn't want to
characters
stalk
are more
her.
social than I am.
I know
so.
they're way. I just rather hang out with virtual people than real people. Like Animal Crossing, and I'm playing some Animal Crossing. Pick that up again,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Our cameraman just did a fist pump to
Wait,
Uh,
for
good. Do you still
Animal
play? Because I need more people to play. Because all my
Yeah.
friends stopped playing a year ago.
Well, yeah. When they changed out of diapers into real pants.
No, never.
No.
No.
That's
I'm not. It's not my
fantastic.
gig. It's not
I'm
my
the
bag.
best mayor ever.
I know I am the best mayor ever. I'm trying to. I almost got another peacock in my town, but he didn't stay.
Oh,
We're just camping out for the night.
gotta recruit.
Do you recruit? Do you like? Is there something
You
do,
try.
like, let's have National Peacock
But
Day,
that's
and then
the
they stick around?
sacrifice, is that there you have a little camping site in your town, and they can come and they visit, and if they like
then you
your
get
town, they
excited,
stay.
like, oh my
yeah, it's
gosh,
like,
you're
oh, I'm gonna get this bear. However, the drawback is that you have to lose one of your characters.
Oh, so if somebody comes in, it's like.
Do you get to
like-
pick who the character is that you
Nope,
lose?
they just leave, and I think my
that's kinda
koala is the
rough.
next one to go. I love my koala, so.
Well, then get rid of the camping site, and you won't have to lose a koala.
But then you can't get peacocks.
Good point. Peacocks versus koalas.
This
It's
is
a
my
hard life. It makes so much more sense to have these problems rather than people
Raids and shops
humans
and
This is where the
money.
world
already
is going.
leaving the house. So yeah, that's pretty much what. That's me.
That's all right.
Peacocks
Can I-
versus koalas.
So, what you said just kind of sparked
What?
this idea in my brain. We have
boy.
talked
This is where he has-
extensively.
And
He has time built up.
Bring back.
have, like,
Start over.
Yeah, I still got 7 minutes.
Go.
So we've talked extensively about the book Ready Player One, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
so that, what you just said, like, that's like the beauty of video games, right? You don't have to interact with people to feel like you're having connections with people.
And
That's
koalas.
That's Ready Player One.
Yep.
If you haven't read that, you should.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of
we
like a
here
life
at the
requirement.
LittleBigKast,
Yeah.
highly
Ernest
recommend
Klein,
that
you are
game.
my hero.
It's fantastic.
And it becomes more and more real every day.
Yeah.
And that's
the Oasis.
So that's okay. Do you want my perfect fix-all for Destiny right now?
That
Because you
have
could
your-
so easily incorporate elements from Ready Player One into Destiny.
That-
Like, what if you made worlds that were just PvP worlds and PvE worlds? Like, instead of saying, "Oh, you're gonna go fight in a Crucible match," right? Like, what if you were visiting Mars and Mars was only PvP? Like, it was all player versus player.
And you just wander around. And you could. Be
And so, like, you can loot other players' bodies, and you can go, like, you run the risk of getting killed and having all of your crap stolen. Like, it's a world that you take this conscious risk in going down to. How cool would that be if you had worlds that were just dedicated to that?
I would not go to those worlds.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be cool, but I would. I would
be
love to have
awesome.
worlds that were like dedicated to like that virtual like basement kind of hangout where it'd be
See,
like,
I
I'm
think
gonna
they tried to.
I'd
I
have
think
my
they
place.
tried to get that with the tower. The tower definitely needs to be improved. You need to be able to talk to people, right?
Right,
That's and
Yeah, the tower.
But
It's
the
a
dance
social
groups.
world where you can do nothing social.
Or
You
you
can
can't
dance
talk
and you
to
can.
can
And no, you can like point to people.
You can
you
sit.
can dance if you want to. You can leave your fears behind.
That's what
That'd
we
be
should
a
do. We
great
should totally
thing.
do a little parody of that, where we just like welcome to the tower, and we all just
Yeah.
like communicate with those 4 signs.
That's it.
try
And
figure
just
out what
run
to
Do an
around.
entire podcast
Yeah,
like
it's
that,
like-
where we just saluted each other.
And sit. No, I
And sit
agree.
down.
I think if it had more social, it'd be cool to be able to just be like, I'm not just going back to the tower to go check with this guy and get my bounty and go back out, but to be able to like set up in your shop. Yeah, you have your
Have
storage
a
locker.
virtual gun range
Yep.
at the tower
Yep.
that you can go and like pass your weapons around with your
Bungie?
friends and be like, hey, try
Bungie.
this out.
Are you
If you're listening, Bungie.
You should.
Yeah, they should be.
And they do have a long. I'm sure they have a
Are you
long
listening?
term like.
They have a very long list of player gripes that they're dealing
coulda,
with right
shoulda,
now.
wouldas.
But it's still there.
It's still a game that I can't stop playing. So
Yep.
for what it's worth,
Yeah.
like it's
That's
still
those
got me
Diablo
wrapped
3.
up in it. Sorry for the distraction.
All right, you're up to
But-
5.5.
Yeah, you're up to like
5.5. Okay, so
Well,
in
no,
the 2
yours is
minutes.
it's called 6.
All right,
Round
so are you good with news?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, then we're gonna kick it over to Drew for the news.
So the news that we're doing this go around is it's pretty solid, it's pretty exciting. Some of it's like yeah, and some like hey. So I'm gonna start with it. Ready? Did you catch all that? As soon as I find my tabs here, I want to throw it up. But 20th anniversary of Sony. Sony celebrates 20 years of PlayStation, right? So when the first PlayStation came out, they're hitting 20 years next month, and so
I
they
feel
made this.
really old now.
that's
Yeah, I
1
know,
year
right?
younger than me.
So they made this really cool video that I'll just let roll back here for,
It's very
for video
nostalgic.
folks.
Yeah.
It is. It's like,
Makes so
and
much
they did a
nostalgia.
great job of mixing. And this is me being the digital media guy, but fantastic to watch.
What a
like
nerd.
the mix of old and new. It wasn't like they were like, hey, let's do 8-bit all the way up through the first half of the show and then flip it over to like the cool stuff. It's a fantastic mix between everything, and so it's fun to watch all the different parts and glimpses of games that we played. So I guess that's. What are you guys gonna do to celebrate? I guess would be the question.
I think it's appropriate to say that Sony, we salute you.
We salute
Yes.
you.
That's
Absolutely.
pretty cool. What's funny is, so in the time that Sony has existed as a company, I was looking at a thing on Reddit earlier today that talked about how Sega had nearly hit 20 years before they went bankrupt. so they went out of business, right, in like either 98 or 2001. I can't remember. But like Nintendo has been around for freaking ever. Like 20 years is a long time, but like when did Nintendo start? Let's jump back.
80s. Well, when I got mine it was like 80. Yeah, it was 82, I think.
I want to say 82, 83.
I'll look it up while you guys finish the conversation.
That's 10 years.
But we should. I don't know. It's so close. I mean, it's just so like next month. What do we do? What do we have to celebrate?
1983.
What about your first PlayStation memory, real quick? First PlayStation memory.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Mine would be. I was actually a little bit older. But like middle school age, and I was asked to babysit a couple of kids over the weekend. So it was like a 3-day weekend for a friend of my mom's, and I had these twins and an older boy that was like 5th grade. So it was kind of like a party because here I am as like an 8th grader just playing with them. But they had a PlayStation, and so I would find like in our activities for the day, I would find humongous chunks of time to just have them watch me play Sonic or anything else that I could find. Like it was like part of my routine. So that's my PlayStation first memory. I did not own one until I got married just a couple of years ago because I went the Wii route for a number of years.
Yes. No, mine's pretty, as you've said, epic, and I really hate using the word, but it truly is like the moment like that got me into where I am now.
Because as I say,
yeah,
this is more than this is your life. This is like, research. This
is kind of it. Yeah. I was Christmas when I was 13, and I saw like all of the previews for like Final Fantasy VII. It's like, oh, it's a big cinematic game. This could be really cool. And up until that time, I had like my little Sega Game Gear, which was great. And Christmas rolls around, and I ask and beg Mom, can I please have this for Christmas? Christmas morning happens, open all the gifts, and she's like, so did you get everything you want? I'm like, no, there was a few things that I didn't get that I wanted, but I'm really happy with what I have. And she's like, oh, okay, fine, you can just have this now. Oh. So she ran upstairs, got it, brought it down, and I spent the rest of Christmas break playing Final Fantasy VII when I was 13, and that was like the thing. Like the master's thesis is on Final Fantasy VII. Right. So that was like that was like the moment. It's like I cuddled with that thing. I brought it to babysitting, and that got me so much money, especially when I was like babysitting like boys and girls. Mm-hmm. It was so cool because they'd sit there and play Spyro, and they came with the DualShock controllers, and that was the coolest thing ever.
Spyro was awesome.
Oh.
When you said that made me so much money, I thought I could see you just walking in the house and like having the kids from the neighbors come over and be like, all right, put it's a competition.
$10 to play through.
Yep. Brilliant. What about you, Rachel? What?
So I was always a Nintendo girl as a Wii one because my brothers would give me theirs when they upgraded their systems. But the first time that I ever like really used a PlayStation was one of those. I would use my friends for their consoles, gaming consoles, like their N64. So she got a PlayStation, and she was like, "Hey, you should come over. I have this really scary game." And I was like, "Oh, let's pee ourselves." And it was Clock Tower 2, and it was just an awful game. It's so horrible. But I was 6, and it was rated M, and I was like, "Oh, there's blood. Oh, I'm so scared." So that was pretty much the start of it. And
Please remind me never let my girls go play.
I know, right? Let her run around. But PlayStation. Then I got a PlayStation 2 when it came out. So. Yay!
So I have 2 moments that stand out to me. Like I can't remember which game I played first. The first is playing through Metal Gear Solid. Mm-hmm. I distinctly remember how I felt and how awesome. Like, so first of all, I remember the footprints in the snow and being like, "Oh my gosh, I can see where he's walked." And then like the guards would notice the footprints, and I was just like, my mind is blown. And sniping Sniper Wolf, like when you are trying to kill Sniper Wolf, looking down the scope, I remember being like, this is the most incredible thing I have ever seen. And then also Final Fantasy VII, like I remember the train rolling up to pick up Cloud and just being like, oh my gosh, look at these graphics, this is insane. Like my mind
it's like
was
they're
blowing.
Alive.
Yeah, my mind was blowing. And I remember Aerith dying in Final Fantasy VII and bawling. Like
yes,
I was
wrecked
as a teenage boy. Like
there's a lot of emotions going on, a lot of things happening.
Dude, I was seriously wrecked. It was the first it was the first game I can ever remember playing where like I cared about the characters and the story that they had to tell as individuals within that world. And I remember like I was a wreck. I mean, when she died, I was like, you You bastard!
It's like, how could you do this? She was the only pure soul.
So yeah, I kind of wish we would have saved this as a
whole
topic.
Well, we don't have much time, so we'll race through. But no, it's good. That's good. We salute you, and it's till next month, so we could do still another rehash and do stuff. So next piece of news, I'm gonna jump one and go into 3. Bejeweled, Dead Space 3, Mass Effect 2, Mirror's Edge, NBA Jam are all coming to PlayStation Now, December 2nd. So big names coming to PlayStation Now. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm not a game renter. I really barely have time to play the ones that I pay for, but I think that for the PlayStation Now offerings, that's going to help a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I would never play a game like Bejeweled on my console. That's a phone game.
Since when?
That's a phone game.
Right.
That's a Smash Time game.
But Mass Effect 2 is
Smash
one
Time.
of the very best games that I've ever played. Like I've gushed about the Mass Effect series a number of times.
It's a smidge.
They actually, the BioWare president put out a request to like a survey to see what fans would think about a remastered version of the Mass Effect series. Put it out this week. I was going to add it to the news, but I was like, I talk about Mass Effect all the time, so I left it out. So now I'm just going to, mention it anyway because it's here. Gosh, that would make me so happy. Like I am not on board with like, hey, let's remake everything for the new systems, but holy cow.
That's one that you
Yeah,
that is one
that would fly.
That is just so good.
Cool.
And
We'll
deserves to be
like,
played.
because they've got to do some stuff in the PlayStation Now to make sure that it's streamable.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see what adjustments, or if there are any. Pushing news. Delay of the week. You ready?
Yeah.
Bloodborne delayed again. It's going to come over a month later. We were aiming for February. Somewhere I read they called it the year of delays. Like 2014 is a year of delays, right? And so this is just one more. It's going to be a month later. So Bloodborne's going to be.
Well, the ones that they've rushed,
surprise?
I'm okay. I would have been okay with them delaying some of the ones that they've rushed.
I wonder which ones.
To correct some things. There are a number, mostly Ubisoft games, which we'll get into a little bit later.
Yeah.
Like Watch Dogs was a big one that was delayed 6 months and still garbage. And we'll get into Assassin's Creed a little bit later.
Okay, well, if we're going to hit faculty meeting, then I'm going to jump into the last piece of news.
Hit it.
Quick ones, real quick. We mentioned Just Cause coming in 2015, and Tony Hawk Pro Skater coming. Oh, yeah, which one is it?
A new one.
A whole brand new one in 2015,
Tony Hawk
right?
tweeted.
Also mobile.
Oh, and mobile. Okay, so there's a lot of there, and then we did. I think if we have time, we'll talk Ubisoft. But their stock dropped after Assassin's Creed Unity came out, right? So
on Tuesday.
Like recently. So we'll get into that. But this one, a lot of the news was taken up this go around with the PlayStation Vue, which is a new cloud-based TV service for PlayStation 3, PS4. No cable required for the cable cutters out there. This is going to be kind of a big deal. Basically, a new service lets you watch TV on-demand type of content. At least the ones that they've licensed with so far, straight off your PlayStation without having a service. It's like their service.
I love this.
Thoughts on this?
I love it. I think the big companies are starting to get that this is where it's headed. I mean, with the content, the quality content that Netflix has put out recently, I think major studios are kind of running scared at the thought of like being tied down to a cable company. Yeah. HBO is a great example of that they're launching a cable-free subscription. Like HBO Go will be available to everyone for a monthly subscription. Like I would definitely pay for HBO Go if I didn't have to pay for Comcast.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy. I'm going to pay for 800 channels and watch one. Yeah, that's nuts.
And honestly, with all the time shifting that we've all had to do, I mean, there's just it's just way to go with the chair. It's like, got hydraulic going over here. No, but it's tough because everyone does time shifting. Everyone, like TiVo's everything, skips over, commercials and everything that keeps the things alive. Yep. It makes perfect sense to do this. And right now, I'm a cable cutter. I've been cable free for it sounds like I quit or something.
You kind of have to. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
it's like
not only is
5 years.
Difficult, but it's painful. It's a painful
process
to get them to
the bad thing is that you're not connected anymore to a lot of pop culture stuff.
Right.
It's like, I don't know what happened on Sons of Anarchy last night because I've got to wait until it comes out tomorrow morning on Amazon because I bought the season.
Right.
I wonder how that's going to change pop culture.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the more of us that do that, the more that discussion happens either later or doesn't happen. Like I hardly know what movies are going to come out because I don't.
Yeah, I don't see trailers anymore.
So that is interesting. Interesting.
Any thoughts, Rachel?
People just don't want to as well. Like, people try and cut commercials and ads as much as they want, so they just want content, as sad as it is, but...
And it's a la carte viewing.
But it is.
So.
I mean, like, it's just like learning. Like, just in my mass communications class, we cut out television. It was just so short because it's like, we're going digital. This is HBO Go. This is where it's going. It's like,
that's all you need to know.
People don't even watch the news anymore, so that's yeah, I know. Plot twist. Social media say what?
I teach media writing, and every semester chronically for the last 4 or 5 years that I've taught, every time I'll start a class and just find out, where do you get your news? And with every progressive semester, it's getting more and more here. And I'll have like one student that's like, I read the paper because my dad's
the one signpost editor.
Right, yeah. Or they're working at the signpost.
Increasingly Twitter.
Yeah. It really is. And so I find that interesting because then I can teach the class based on where they're getting their news and talking about being a news savvy person. But that's a whole different conversation for how news works. But that, my friends, is the news.
Ironically enough.
Cool. Well, then we'll jump right into new releases. What time do you have to get out of here, Drew? Are you already late?
Faculty meeting starts in 3 minutes.
Oh, wow. All right.
Great. As long as you guys are late together.
Don't tell the chair. Yeah, right? As long as we show up together, it's okay?
This is student-based. We're doing something that is
me. I'm the student.
It's true.
Pretend.
It's true.
So then we'll keep this quick then. So this is the drop. Some things that's coming out this week are Assassin's Creed Rogue for the PlayStation 3 digital/retail. Assassin's Creed Unity also comes out. Digimon All-Stars Rumble, Get Off My Lawn, Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham, Nano Assault Neo X, Pro Evolution Soccer 2015, Retro City Rampage DX, Ring Run Circus, Senran Kagura Bon Appetit, and Terraria PS4 edition.
Kagura, bon appetit.
Yeah, it doesn't make it's
no
like
sense.
this ninja chick, samurai chick with just this, what is that, ice cream?
Looks like a bowl of ice cream in her hand.
It does.
I have no problem with that.
Weird.
I love the idea, and I will buy a Vita I'll buy a Vita just to see what she's doing with that ice cream.
So those are my releases.
Cool.
Right on. That was fast.
Yeah.
All right, so we had originally 2 different topics planned. Because you guys need to get to your meeting, can we cut it down to one? And if so, Robin,
Surprising.
which would you prefer? I mean, let's go through review embargoes.
Oh,
We can talk about the other one
embargoes.
We'll tie them both together. Okay.
Cool.
So here's what's going on. Assassin's Creed Unity was released Tuesday of this week, right?
You chose poorly.
It came out with... So we're going to be talking about 2 different things today. Number 1, we're going to talk about review embargoes, and number 2, we're going to talk about microtransactions within full-priced games.
Yes.
So, problem number 1. Assassin's Creed Unity had a review embargo up until noon of the day the game started selling. So, if you pre-ordered, or if you purchased at the midnight release, or first thing in the morning, you did not have a chance to look at the review. Additionally, the reviews, I've since learned through websites like Polygon and IGN, the review copies of this game that were given to reviewers left out content. They left out microtransactions. So what has ended up happening is users now, players that have picked up this game, are finding their areas of the map that are locked unless you either purchase an upgrade to open them up or jump into like the game in an app and play a mini game within an app to unlock that area.
But do you have to pay for that one, or you actually just you play and it's unlocked?
I think the app is free. You have to play to unlock it, but like
it's not available for.
It is not available with the $60 game you purchased unless you spend money or take time outside of the game to do something with it.
That's so
In
annoying.
addition to that, there are missions that require you to be a certain level of skill to be able to even start, and you can purchase, say, like a 5-minute upgrade to your stats so that you can go in and beat this mission to unlock something. So this problem, and there are a number of other problems. The frame rate within the game is horrible. There are tons of glitches. It's a buggy game. There are a number of problems that this game suffers from, but I think the most egregious thing that Ubisoft has done with this is releasing a game while being intentionally
shady.
What's the right word? Shady, but like intentionally, like I don't know, like they've chosen to leave things out.
Like
They've
shifty and shady.
Yeah.
shifty, shady. They've chosen to be manipulative in their approach to marketing this game.
Yeah, disingenuous, basically.
Exactly. Disingenuous is a perfect example. And the thing that's really concerning to me is that this seems to be a pattern that's forming with Ubisoft. Far Cry 4 is a game that's coming out next week that I am very excited for and am anticipating as being a great game because Far Cry 3 was so good.
Right.
But if I look back at what Ubisoft has released this year, I'm going to first look at Watch Dogs and I'm going to see what...
It was hype.
Like, the hype for that game was huge, and Ubisoft manipulated the graphics at the E3 launch so that they could say, like, hey, look how awesome these graphics looks. We're at 60 frames per second. We are at 1080p. Look how beautiful and amazing this is. And then they scaled it down for the release. Like, they couldn't manage those graphics within the actual game itself. So they've been manipulating buyers and then hijacking reviewers through this entire process.
Because they can't release that information.
Exactly.
The embargo. Yeah.
Because of the embargo, it makes it impossible for them to say, listen, be wary of pre-ordering this game. Like, they can't come out and say that. And so, I don't know. I wanted you guys' I guess your guys' thoughts on the review embargo process. Does it have a place? When is it appropriate? When is it inappropriate? When have you appreciated maybe a review embargo? And when has it been a bother to you? And I guess as a second, what are your thoughts on microtransactions?
So for me, I'll take review embargoes, and I don't know that they don't. For me, my style of playing and game purchasing doesn't matter to me because I'm a late adopter. Like, I will wait for something to hit and go strong and be that good with good reviews before I buy it. I don't know the last time that I pre-ordered and purchased something except for like Fable 3 years ago.
You picked up Destiny pretty early, but you didn't pre-order it.
But I didn't pre-order. I picked it up early on after we had played a bunch, and I'd played the beta, and I was satisfied at that level.
Right.
So I feel like for me, the embargoes, you know, and the reviews, not a big deal because I'm going to wait later, you know, because I'm not really KT, where I'm going to grab something the night of, right? You know, right away. That's just not. It's not in my budget, right? I have to like really skim and save. So for that one's my take on that. Not really affecting me. I'm used to embargoes. I worked a lot in the TV news business, and they'll embargo stories. If one station breaks a story, they can hold on to it and embargo it and put it up on the bird so that everybody, all the other affiliates, can get it in the nation. And then other local affiliates can have it a day later. So I'm used to that, and I think it's a fine thing to do. You're right, they're kind of being a little shifty with this, where they're like, nobody can talk about it because we know it's going to be bad.
They know it's a broken game, so nobody's allowed to talk about it.
My feeling is, and it's always been this in business, is you under-promise, over-deliver.
Yeah.
And it feels like with these embargoes and the other things that Ubisoft specifically has been doing, it's way over-promising, way over-hyping, and the marketing team is pushing harder than the development team is delivering. And that's causing long-term strife for the company itself, because I think they have a pretty stellar record. They're really well-known. They're a great company. But when you have a couple of stinkers in a row,
big ones,
big
AAA
significant stinkers,
then somebody's gonna have to change that diaper.
Yeah.
There you go.
Agreed.
That's my thoughts.
Agreed.
And then my short 2 cents on microtransactions. Stupid. If I pay $60 for a game, right? The game's free, like the DC Online, whatever. Yeah. If I pay for the game, I pay the whole shebang for the game. Give me the whole enchilada.
Yeah.
It's Disneyland. If I pay the entrance fee, let me in to the park.
Right.
Don't make me pay for Tomorrowland and Toontown.
Space Mountain.
Yeah. Can you believe that? All right. That's it. I'm good.
I don't know, I'll lead with the microtransactions. First of all, I had to watch a video that Polygon put together to understand the 4 different currencies of the microtransactions within Unity.
So they don't do this as like a USD dollar amount?
Well, first you can buy the 4 currencies. Like you have the Helix points, you have it's kind of crazy. And then you have like the traditional, like I'm looting this dead body and I'm picking up these livres. But
and so it has to explain to you what these
it has to explain. I'm like, no, if you have to explain to me what 4 different currencies do within a game, you need to stop. Just stop. And the fact that you have to, again, like I'm going to blow $100 so I can get X many Helix points so I can hack through a weapon. You have killed the game for me. Thank you. So if you're hacking through it, if you are purchasing your skill instead of earning it,
Right.
I have a huge problem with that. I don't care if I'm actually doing that. I know that other people are doing it, and you have taken the thing. Yeah, there you go. The helix points, the levers, and the helix levers, sync points, and assassin points.
Wow. Wow.
And I just don't get it. You've got to stop with the microtransactions for a full game. It's like you just pulled a day one digital.
Right. It would be a different. It would be a different conversation, right? If it was free.
Exactly.
Like
if this was a free to play, pay to win kind of thing.
Yeah.
But this is a pay to play, pay to win.
Right.
So stop.
Yeah, it's crazy. Rachel, thoughts?
I'm happy I didn't pick up the game or had any interest to pick up the game. I still needed to play Black Flag, but that's unfortunate. I feel like it's been happening with a lot of games. Kind of started off with the mobile gaming too. You know what I mean? That's kind of where Plants vs. Zombies 2 is where I saw it, and it's like, oh, you need to get this weapon and beat this level, and it's just
No.
monopolizing. It sucks. So that sucks that Ubisoft. I remember Ubisoft was the first time that I witnessed that. It was on Xbox Live, and I was playing. I want to say it was Assassin's Creed 2 or 3, but I found out you had to pay to get the online play, like $60 for Uplay a month or a year or something, and that made me mad. I was like, I bought this game. Why do I have to pay? I'm already paying for gold. Like, why do I have to pay extra to pay on? So I mean, they kind of. It's not surprising to me they're not the first, but that they did that because they've kind of slowly been there.
And what's
They
what's
would.
kind of interesting to me too is, for a long time EA has been kind of the bad guy of the gaming industry, right? Like, they've been looked at as being the guys that are like all about the cash, all about the Benjamin, right? Everybody else
No trouble.
is
No trouble.
but like they've put their consumers kind of on the side, on the outskirts to make room for the cash. And what's been interesting is this year, I mean, they had their issues with Titanfall as well on over promising and under delivering, right?
Yep.
But
yeah.
Dragon Age Inquisition, which is releasing I think next week, has
Good
their
review.
review embargo
yeah.
was released almost a week and a half early, right? So
Did
the
they
review embargo went out early.
Was it before Unity? Like
Yeah.
And other.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
those are
it
kind
was
of
right
the same
before.
big releases. So
Yeah.
interesting.
So the review
maneuver
embargo
there.
went out early, and it's been getting great reviews. Like, the things that people are saying about it looks really, really promising. And I told you guys last week that I wasn't planning on picking this game up because I had such a bad time with Dragon Age 2. I read another opinion piece on Polygon that talked about how what Dragon Age Inquisition has done better than most games that have come out in the last like 5 years is tell important character stories. Like, the characters that you're a part of are a critical part to the overall game, and that's exactly what I needed to hear to totally change my mind. Like, the fact that they did let the review embargo go early, and that is a huge emphasis within the game. Those two things speak volumes to me. Another company that typically releases reviews of their games very early and releases the review embargo is Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Like, companies that do that, like, it's
Comfortable with their product,
it's a
right?
double-edged
Feel
sword,
good about
right?
it.
Like,
Confidence
on
thing.
one hand, there are a lot of hardcore gamers that would stay away from a review that came out early because they're like, I want zero spoilers. Like, I don't want to have this game spoiled for me. And so there's an argument to be made for holding a review embargo for the sake of keeping as much story content pure for as many people as possible.
Yeah.
So there's that argument to be made. But there is something to be said for a studio that's like, you know what, we did a killer job with this game. Our review's going out a week early.
Here you
We
go.
want people to be talking about it. We want people to be excited for it. And so I feel like what's been funny is that internet has also kind of reiterated this, that Ubisoft is kind of becoming what EA was last year and maybe the year before it, where like they've been this like just money-hungry
buttons,
corporate entity that like has lost their passion for the game. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Far Cry 4, their review embargo's up tomorrow.
Huh?
So their review embargo's up 4 or 5 days before the game comes out. It's an Ubisoft game. It'll be very interesting, I think, to see what the press has to say about it, see how not only the game scores, but like I mean, honestly, if there are microtransactions, like, I'm one of those guys that will speak with my wallet. Like, if if they're gonna try and pull that crap on me,
give me 100 of those Helix points. That's what you mean?
Well,
like, you buy it all.
What I mean
way?
is, like, I won't pick up the game. I'm not gonna buy a game with microtransactions probably ever again.
Doesn't make sense if you're gonna buy the game.
Yeah,
It's like you're burning me
If it's
twice.
something that like gives someone else an edge up on me too, like that was one of the only problems I had with Mass Effect 3 was that you could purchase like weapons packs in the multiplayer, and that was really frustrating to me. That like I'm trying to earn them, and somebody just threw $50 at weapons packs, and now has a weapon that's going to take me out in one hit every single flipping time. Like, I'm never going to win a battle because this dude paid money. That's really frustrating in a game that you pay for. So I think bottom line, if the game is free or pay to win, I'm fine with that. Like, just be honest with me.
Yeah.
Like, what I don't want to see is a $60 game that now requires me after the fact that I've handed someone my credit card or paid with cash or whatever it is. They put it in my hand, I get home, I plug it in, and it's like, oh, you can't go there because you haven't paid X amount of dollars. I think if we can avoid that, the gaming world in general will be a little bit better place.
Agreed. I think there's something to be said, just to wrap it up so we can go, but I feel like perhaps indie developers, we've talked a lot about indie gamers here, but I think that they probably are going to easily know that they see what's going on. They don't have to be as money hungry as corporate. They can enjoy the game experience and try new things without burning twice, without trying those things. So I guess this is just one of those chances where they're going to get to monopolize on a mistake.
Yeah.
So that's my take.
And they've paid for that, right? The stock dropped by 9%.
Yeah, they have.
With the release of their biggest game, arguably their biggest game of the year.
It should have been. The series has been great, minus 3, but the whole series has been great. I mean, there was nothing stopping me from thinking, oh, this is going to be a really cool game.
Especially after Black Flag last year.
Exactly. Yeah. And then they just shoot themselves in the foot. Thank you. You can't animate women, and you can't animate anything. Awesome. Thank you.
A little bit crazy. So this has been episode 32 of the LittleBigKast. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to tweet at us at LittleBigKast, or as individuals, I'm at Jeff Hawks. With me, Drew is
at Knight20, KNITE20.
Miss Hazlett is
I'm Robin Hazlett because I'm really, really original with my Twitter name.
Me too. I'm Jeff Hawks, and
I'm Pirate Rachel with the 3 instead of an E on the pirate.
R.
Leet speak.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, guys. Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Pew, pew.